Forgive me for repeating myself, Your Honour, but even if we prove conclusively that the windows were soundproof, the defence's argument still hinges entirely on the omission of one detail in the witness's testimony. Putting it another way, just because he didn't hear the music, that doesn't mean he couldn't hear the music because the soundproof windows were closed. The devil's proof. Yes, and you actually used it right this time. I did my reading. Oh! She's effectively conceded that the windows were soundproofed. But she's also shifted tactics, and it's a formation I don't recognise. That's to be expected, I'm no general. But I love this music, it's really changed the tone. But I don't need Makoto here to tell me that war is deception. So how about a little misdirection? Listen up, Sarah. The important thing about the devil's proof is that it's always on our side. The side of underdogs, lovers, and dreamers the world around. Side of the defense, innocent until proven guilty. That's what makes the devil so infuriating for the prosecution. The people make a fair point, Your Honour. There really isn't any hard evidence for my fleeing suspect theory at the moment. But the people haven't disproven it either, have they? This music's a bit weird. I forgot the exact details, Your Honour, but all we need is a shadow of a doubt, right? To overturn 5 dead bodies, the testimonies of 3 cops, and a room soaked to the floorboards in forensic evidence that apparently no one has properly aligned until the faulty adjutant did it right in front of us. Yes. I'm gonna have that translated on screen. I assume that means fury indignation, though. Have you lost your mind? Are you trying to piss off everyone here? Yes. Come on, you don't hate my theory that much, do you? I'm warming up to it. Then I'll stick to the facts for now. You see, that's why I like Emma. That little bit there. Like, I believe, and this has sort of got shown in the other ones as well. To be honest, all of them so far have been a case of, hey, my guy didn't do it, okay, case withdrawn, then we'll go elsewhere. Which I guess is how trials actually work. You don't so much win as trial as you stop them, you don't lose. But I like that Emma, the moment she actually finds the real person to look at, once she is convinced that the one she's going for is not the one who did it, that's it, she's done. She's after, if not the truth, maybe justice, or if not justice, then the truth, one or the other. Can't think of it right now, but again, it's what, in my mind, elevates her over most sort of antagonist lawyers in lawyer stuff. You know, they're more about, oh, I have to beat my opponent, whereas Emma is like, I want to catch the killer. Then I'll stick to the facts for now. At the time Rogers and Chopin arrived, the front door was locked. The music was still playing at the scene of the crime, even if Rogers didn't notice it until stepping inside. And at the moment Creek was shot, at least, we can be certain the soundproof windows behind him were closed. Yes, those are the facts. Why are you restating them? Because there's something that's been bothering me. If we accept those as the facts, one part of the Honourable Officer Rogers' testimony makes no sense. Not that one. Heard a thud. Heard a noise. Chopin destroyed the lock. The gunshots, yeah. Heard gunshots in the lower wards, headed towards the sound. Soundproofed, couldn't hear the sound. How can you hear gunshots from miles away? Chopin alerted, definitely. How could these 2 officers have set off in response to the sound of gunshots if the room was deafened at the time the gun was fired? Now you go there? Oh crap, yeah. Wait, excuse me, what are you talking about? I've forgotten his accent again, I'm sorry. It's the very first thing you told us, officer. Your partner heard gunshots. But how is that possible? But he said it, he said it. Even on the radio, he called it in. There. I think that's... I think we're beginning to unravel that Rogers is involved. Like, Morgan is finally pulling on that thread, which he's been avoiding this whole time. But Rogers is crap at his job. But he's good enough to set up this con, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not convinced. True enough, I can see it right here in the police network's database. 9:45 p.m. Well, that is actually on time. Officer Tarek Chopin reports shot fired. So he did, and since we can't ask him to testify, we'll just have to take him at his word. But just to clarify, Officer Rogers, are you saying you never heard any gunshots yourself? Well, I didn't have my head out the window like him, so... That's what you were trained to do, isn't it? Report anything you see or hear across the network. Well, one report is usually sufficient. But confirmation is always ideal, right? Yes or no, Officer Rogers? I never heard any gunshots. This... I don't know where this is going. This would make more sense to me with the him setting Tarek up, Chopin up. I don't know why I'm calling him by his first name. I don't know him like I know Farah. But it would make more sense if he was setting him up if Rogers heard the gunshots, because he's like, I hear gunshots, quick, we have to go to this blue blood stronghold where they're going to kill you. Whereas with this, I don't know. Maybe what did he hear? I don't know. It doesn't line up to me. Hang on, are you really... So you never heard a peep, but your partner? He somehow managed to waltz you both over to exactly where 4 vicious murders had been committed? Before anyone else got there? I just drove where he pointed, so... Counselor, you need to be very careful here. Thank you for your concern, Miss Rockford. But don't forget, I hate losing. Pardon? I said, but don't forget to direct your comments to the bench. You bring that up now? Every cop in the room already thinks I'm a mob lawyer at this point. Compared to that, mocking the memory of the deceased is small time. I feel you're going to say something shocking here and I should stop you. But I can't really stop you before you say it, so... I'm just confused is all, Your Honour. How could Officer Chopin have possibly arrived at the scene of the crime when he couldn't have heard any gunshots? Unless he was asked to come there directly. Oh, like he got an Evite? Exactly. An Evite of death. Officer Chopin answered a distress call. From the Blue Bloods. Ha! Ha! But we know he wouldn't. Ha! This is one of those times I really wish I knew where Morgan was going with this, because I'm being just pulled along, and it's part of the point of, you know, I'm caught up in the story as much as the other people in the courtroom are, but, like, it means I can't get out in front of it. I assume that means commotion, uproar, pandemonium. I probably didn't need to look that other one up. Tell me, are these her usual tactics? Turning the entire city against her for no discernible reason? No. Well, the first time we met, she did technically... Your Honour, the defence is completely out of line. The gallery is pretty poorly behaved too. You gonna rein this in, or should I? Allow me. Tarek Chopin was an upstanding officer with no marks on his record. You say he was some kind of blue blood pawn, but he had to break into their building in order to enter. And you have the gall to claim he answered a distress call when there's no panic button, no phone records to suggest one was ever sent. True. Oh, Alright, where she might be going with this is there is nothing calling them there, so Rogers had to be the one directing it. Rogers is lying about his testimony. But the thing is, why would he say stuff like he heard a thud, you know? Maybe I'm... Alright, maybe I'm overestimating how much he is working with the Blue Bloods. Going back to that theory I had of, like, everything is connected. Maybe the Huntsman was completely unconnected to the killing. No, because it just becomes a load of coincidences again. This house of cards that I've built, where everything is connected. Stuff like Rogers being an idiot and saying, oh yeah, I heard a thud in the alleyway, collapses my house of cards. Maybe this is how Emma feels. True. True. That's all you have to say after posthumously accusing the son of 2 city councilmen of being corrupted by blue blood pocket change? It's a fair point. Chopin was the son of 2 city councilmen and by all accounts a dedicated police officer. He wouldn't work with the Blue Bloods without an unusually strong motive. The kind of thing that would make the headlines. What are you... Time to flex your media literacy. Choose and present the article that shows a motive for Chopin to work with the Blue Bloods. But I don't think he did. Remember, I guess the point is, because someone said in the comments of, like, episode 1 stuff, that I need to think like a lawyer. I'm not thinking like a detective, like someone who's trying to find the truth. I'm thinking like I need to think like a detective, someone who's trying to win the case. So I don't think Morgan believes this, and I obviously don't, but it's a case of trying to find the thing that makes the case. Reread any articles you've collected on your phone. You've already read them front to back. Yes, I have. I actually have. Right. Ballot measures. Helium fuel, not that one. Convention. Possible. Serial bombings, not going to be that one. Oh, hang on. Rogers. Police officer, lower wards patrol. Oh, so he did actually patrol the lower wards normally, so it wasn't that unusual. But didn't they make a point of being like, oh, it's really weird that they were there. What were they doing there? Salt, water, rosemary, and graffiti art. Dislike sand, marshmallows, and the lottery. What a bizarre combination. Wakes up at 5:30, can't stand mice, easily upset. It could be this one, the public works to the ballots thing, because this has a thing supported by Chopin and Chopin. So this is definitely something that could theoretically involve Tarek specifically, but I don't see anything in here that could like definitively connect to the Blue Bloods. I don't see anything in the convention one that really hints towards anything, so it's got to be the ballot propositions. It's the only one that I can think might be relevant. So it's got to be the ballot propositions, but I don't know entirely where she's going with it. Public school acid snow, renovating Atlas pillars. So I guess the point, because it said renovating the Atlas pillars, depending on which ones are chosen, can dramatically increase or decrease the value of property. So it would suggest that there is a big thing to be made with between Chopin and the people who run the lower wards, the Blue Bloods, in controlling where the value goes. You know, that it points towards a larger scheme that could potentially be there and could be a motive. So that's my thinking. I really wish that wasn't so bloody loud. Ballot measures. Officer Chopin would never compromise his well-documented morals for anything less than an earth-shaking opportunity. Yes, Councillor, but his family is very well off. What could this earth-shaking opportunity possibly have been? How about a donation to his parents? What? Sidebar for a moment? What? How are you all thinking about voting? Oh, don't get me started, I'm a political junkie. What are you... Sorry, on the ballot measures specifically. Huh? Am I the only one who sweats over this stuff? Maybe it's old-fashioned, but I was hoping to hear some diverse, nuanced opinions on Proposition 492. Wait, but that's the funding of Atlas Pillar rejuvenation projects. I think it's a nice idea. Bringing prosperity to the lower wards, literal stability to everyone above them. And of course, the mother of all paydays to anyone lucky enough to own the land it'll require. Wait a minute, you mean... You... Am I the only one who reads the news anymore? Wasn't counting on being this rhetorical, but... Who on the city council is sponsoring Proposition 492? Chopin's parents? One last question, less rhetorical this time. This crime took place at a known Blue Blood property. So why was this found there? The dark card, presumably? Yoru is explained. We know that one. Red ink. That's something commonly used by Blue Bloods. Needles. I mean, that was found there because they were using it, but that still doesn't answer why they had it. Creek's datapad is Creek's. Chopin's fingerprints. Chopin's fingerprints are still unexplained. The dark card, wiped of all prints. It's got to be this one, right? Oh, I mean, I see how this looks, but I still don't understand it. Why are Chopin's fingerprints on the datapad? Because it really does make it look like he was taking a payoff. Yeah. Chopin's fingerprints on the datapad. It doesn't make any sense. Like, hang on, let me just double check this. Like, we have already talked about the dark card, and Emma has previously said that it was Creek's. But Chopin's and Creek's fingerprints both on the datapad? Oh, it could be either of these. I also think it could be the needles, but I'm going to go with the datapad because of Chopin's fingerprints. What was Creek doing with that datapad before he died? Sending a distress call, perhaps? We've already verified that the last... Why was Chopin touching it? Why, when he walked into a crime scene full of bodies, was his first instinct to pick up a glowing pad on the table? Like, before even securing the room. You know? I don't understand. Is this the salt? Is this the salt of this episode? I feel like it isn't, but it's just a thing that is there that isn't being addressed. And I don't understand it. It makes no sense why it's there. We've already verified that if I'd known she was going to bring up the bloody SOS out of nowhere, I wouldn't have said the datapad. Fuck knows where this is going. We've already verified that the last activity on the datapad was a dark card transaction. There was no SOS. Could it have been some sort of... No! Look, there's a connection between Chopin and the Blue Bloods, and we have evidence of it here. The evidence is that they're both... There's a connection between Chopin and the Blue Bloods, but it's not the thing with Chopin and the Blue Bloods' fingerprints on it. Clearly, the thing that's in the middle of transferring money, clearly there is absolutely no way that that could point to him being bribed. Obviously not. Silly Morgan. Is it the red ink or is it the dark card? Because the dark card we've already talked to death. You know, she's going like, why was this here? Emma's just going to say, because we talked about it, it could be Creek's. You know, it can be answered. But... Alright, I think it is the dark card. How is it that the dark card got there in the first place? We don't know because it's been wiped of all prints. Are you suggesting Officer Chopin brought it? He might... Oh. Fuck's sake. I've been doing so well. Is it the red ink? Why was this found at the scene of a crime? A known Blue Blood stronghold. Well, we know why that was there. It's got... Is it the red ink? It's the red ink of the needles. Effective regardless of mods. See, that line there is what makes me think that Sasuke was the bloody target. You wouldn't need anesthetics that strong or that specialized for Makoto. Is it the red ink? Oh god, I'm going to turn it down. I don't know. I am completely guessing at this point. Red ink. It's the fucking red ink. Ah! What is this thing that we know is commonly used by criminals doing in this criminal stronghold? Whereas the stuff with the fingerprints of people who have no reason to touch it, that's perfectly explainable. But the criminal tools that they had in this criminal stronghold, what is that for? I mean, the fact that they were found below Chopin's corpse implies he had something to do with them, but the fucking fingerprints... Sorry, I don't... I'm getting very worked up over this, I apologise. Highly confidential red ink documents were found beneath Chopin's corpse. They're almost entirely illegible by now, but you can still make out a reference to... Did I know that? Oh, I fucking did. Okay. Alright, lesson learned. When I'm presented with this choice, reread the bloody evidence, Garen. Come on. I still think Chopin's fingerprints on the datapad are absurd, and it's crazy that they've gone unreferenced. But, you know, this happened with the window, and it's like, only if I completely argue it to the bloody hilt in court does anyone actually take a look at the frickin' evidence and begin to explain it. But anyway. I'm okay. I'm fine. You can still make out a reference to P492 right here. That struck me as odd. Reinforcing the canopy. A state construction project that massive in the lower wards would mean even the police can't keep a crime scene secure down there unless they're willing to play ball with the blues. It'd have to get past the blue bloods. Or through them, with open arms and firm handshakes. Just what the hell are you trying to say? Councillor Morgan, if you... Sorry, wasn't sure I actually had to spell it out, but it certainly looks like Patrol Officer Tarek Chopin was working with the Blue Blood Mafia to defraud the city. Uh-oh. Yes, indeed. Vehemence, wrath, and outrage. She said it. She said that? What did you just say? Are you trying to piss off every cop and every politician in the city? Sorry, I'll gladly retract my statement. That is, as soon as any cop or politician or prosecutor can explain to the court how Tarek Chopin was able to arrive at the crime scene that night, when we all know damn well he never heard any gunshots. It is a bit of a pickle. What have you got for us, witness? What? I don't know, you good ears or something? Or good intuition or whatever? Your Honour, the simplest explanation is that Officer Chopin was tipped off by a CI that he neglected to inform his partner about. Hey, Chopin wasn't a patrol officer with a secret criminal informant that he'd hide from his own partner? That sounds horribly corrupt. And you called my comments inflammatory. Corrupt, you got brass, alright. That's real rich coming from a mob lawyer. The Hound of Icaria. Sorry. That went weird, I apologise. The Hound of Icaria. Oh, that is actually a really important thing that just happened. I mean, obviously, but you know, like, how would he know who that is? And how would he know that Sasuke is that? You know, London had 6 years of experience working in organised crime. He's a patrol officer. Big O. Your Honour, the witness's last statement was a regrettable slip of the tongue. Frankly, his entire testimony has been less than ideal, and so I'd already snipped the jury's feed, but the crowd... Seriously, he's the Hound? Confusion, disbelief. Oh, are those scene directions? But isn't the Hound that... Cop killing animals. Knew that whole house stank like shit. What would you say about a man's family, you... Or what, she'll stab us in the back too? Sasuke. Please calm down. And shut up. Bad apple, hang the whole house with him. Your Honour, these outbursts from the gallery are not ideal, but we need to focus on preventing... It's not enough you butchered him like that. Animals! What does that mean? You gotta pay this lawyer to spit on his grave too? At least the Blue Bloods know their place. How dare you, while you pigs were colluding with Blue Bloods to rip off everyone in the lower wards. Better a Blue Blood than the piss running in your veins. Sarah, hold him. Pardon? Stop him from doing anything stupid now. Okay, it was fun, but now you've ruined it. You're all done. This court is now in recess. Bailiffs, clear the room. It's not enough. No, I'm not done talking. I want to speak. Tell him, Rogers. Judge according to the flesh. What does that mean? This heat. What is with these scene directions? Burn the house. Burn the money. Tension like haze in the air. Rip him out by the roots. And on the back of my neck. Every last one. God, these scene directions. Again, just the style is so good, even if I just don't understand it. Should have taken you out when I had the chance, you... A bead of sweat and something that feels like... Oh. Die, you son of a bitch. Behind us. Get down. What am I reaching for? I don't even have my gun. Too slow anyway. Shit. Ha. Hey, are you okay? Are you hit? Sasuke, I am not injured. The danger's gone, the heat of the moment replaced by the chill of a cold sweat on my lower back. But why did you push me down? What do you mean, why? Why did I take my time turning to trace the bullet's trajectory. Vaguely, I'm aware of stomping feet as the crowd rushes to the exits, but the sound is far away. Reflexes. Sorry. You alright there, Mom? I'm fine, Detective. Thank you. For a moment, I lock eyes with Detective Cassim London. In that instant, I recognize a nameless 7-letter word. Instinct? No, that's 8. In that instant, I recognize a nameless blank flickering across his face, cold and sharp like frostbitten furs. I don't know what that word could be. Nameless. We don't need a name for it, because we only ever see it once. At the very end. Huh. That is not how I expected that to go. God, this is like being plunged into cold water. Alright, I'm going to stop there. But I'm going to be back with more soon. So, did London shoot another cop who was about to shoot Sasuke? Why were they allowed weapons in the courtroom? Sorry, I am going to go, but... Wow, okay. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more of The Devil soon. Subscribe for that, and I will catch you later.